story that has caused controversy amongst animal lovers this week. A zoo in Devon has been criticised after it launched an event charging visitors £15 to play tug-of-war with lions and tigers.
Yes, the game is played by attaching a piece of meat to a rope and having the animals and visitors pull in from either side of a fence.
Well, we're joined now live by the zoo's manager, Benjamin Mee, who says that they're not doing anything wrong. And joining us in the studio is the CEO of LionAid, Chris Macsween, who says that the zoo's action shows no respect for the animals. So good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us both.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Benjamin, we're going to come to you first. So, Benjamin, this has obviously caused quite a controversy this week in the news. You've obviously seen the reaction. Where are you standing on this currently? Has the uproar caused you any upset to the point where you think maybe we shouldn't be doing this?
Well, I've obviously taken it very seriously. I'm always very interested if anyone has any animal welfare concerns, because animal welfare is our primary concern. But I've taken a lot of veterinary advice on this, and every vet I've spoken to, including from the British Zoological Veterinary Society, have said that it's unequivocally really good for the animals. And that was my first motivation. We did this behind the scenes with keepers as purely as enrichment, as soon as we felt we could do it safely. It allows their facial muscles to tense, it gives them a workout, but most importantly, psychologically, it gives them that chance to win something, because they look at the keepers and they look at the people, and they feel they are powerful, and they pull 4 people over, who are then, you know, the joke is on the people, not on the animal, and everybody around, including the people taking part. But importantly, the people watching are just hugely impressed and awestruck, literally, with the amazing power of these majestic animals. And there's no harm to the animal in any way at all. They get fed whether they take part or not, but they always choose to take part. So because it's really good enrichment for the animal, definitely, I don't feel inclined to stop it just because some people haven't quite understood that it's good for the animal.
Well, it's more than some people, I'd say, because as for me as a mother and an animal lover, you're charging children as young as 8 years old, and obviously adults, £15 to play. That kind of rings all sorts of alarm bells for me, and I think not just me only. I know there's a lady called Sue Daly who she started the online petition, and she said it feels like we're going backwards. The zoo is acting more like a circus rather than somewhere that really cares about health and safety of endangered animals in their captivity. What do you think about that? The petition's got way over 2,000 signatures at this point. What do you think about that?
It has. Well, as I say, I'm always really interested in anybody who's got concerns about animals, and we've got past the stage where people said it was bad for the animal and didn't simulate natural behaviours, and we're now on to how it looks and how it's perceived. And I've never found anybody here, in all the times that we've done it, who felt that it was in any way demeaning to the animal. At the end of it, you're absolutely, as I say, awestruck with the power. How can this animal pull over 4 people who are collectively heavier than them? And it inspires people to think about lions and tigers, obviously, in captivity and their plights. And this animal here, I don't know if you've seen the footage yet of the tiger. Yeah, there are only 500 left in the wild and 500 left in captivity.
Well, Benjamin, I mean, we're hearing from you now, but we want to have a little chat with Christine. Yeah. You are the CEO of LionAid. Christine, I can see you shaking your head throughout everything that Benjamin was saying. I think it's quite evident where you stand on this, but tell us your thoughts.
Well, to begin with, predators should not be in captivity. And you've got this lion sitting there in an enclosure. It's captive-born, captive-bred. It knows nothing other than living in a cage for its life. And now you're going to add to that by taunting it with a piece of meat on a rope.
What do you say to Benjamin and clearly the many vets that Benjamin claims he's spoken to, saying that this is actually enriching the lion or the tiger's life because this is what would happen in the wild?
The only way you are going to... Well, let's just go... There's 2 questions there. One is that a lion in the wild is not going to behave anything like a lion in captivity. They are very, very different animals. This lion only knows living in a captive enclosure and being fed meat. It doesn't know anything about wild lion behaviour unless a lion, any predator, is born wild and lives wild for its young life, it will not be able to survive in the wild. So this conservation message that comes out, and I don't know whether Ben is one of the people that comes out with this wrong message, but you cannot breed lions in captivity and put them back in the wild. So there's the first thing about it. And then number two, this lion is sitting there being taunted with a piece of meat on a rope, and you've got 4 people pulling on the other end of it. Of course the lion's going to win. This is can be up to a 500-pound animal that's sitting in an enclosure. And I watched the footage yesterday and it broke my heart because all these people are coming to watch this. So it's now got a whole audience of people all around watching this spectacle, this circus act going on. And you're telling me that this is enriching the lion. If you really want to enrich that lion, take it out of that zoo. Your whole zoo is only 30 acres. A solitary lion would need at least that if you're going to give it an enriched life. Put it in a sanctuary. It can never go back into the wild. But put it in a sanctuary and give it a chance of life. Don't play with it like this and make money out of it. It's wrong.
Ben, a question for you. OK, so, for example, it's half-term at the minute. We're looking to come to you for a day out and bring in my children, you know, partner, etc. If it goes wrong, we're talking about an animal here. What happens if it goes wrong?
In what sense would it go wrong? Sorry.
Well, I think in the sense, Benjamin, obviously there's a safety worry here as well, because I mean we were obviously reading about this this morning and looking quite in depth with it, and we know that you have firearms officers on site anyway in case anything goes wrong, and I'm sure when it comes down to being a zoo, you've got strict safety measures in place. But you even said earlier in the interview, you know, we've had 4 guys pulling on this rope, and you know the last laugh is on the animal because these guys fall to the floor. Yeah. If you've got children as young as 8 taking part in that, you know, there is safety issues there.
Is on the people.
Yeah, so what's the measure?
There are tiny safety issues for the... Well, we've risk assessed the whole process in that it's a very known quantity that as soon as the people are tired, they let go of the rope gently rather than try and fall over, but sometimes people do stumble. There is a tiny risk to the people taking part of possibly stumbling, but overall, we've done this lots of times behind the scenes, completely safely. We think we've covered every eventuality, and I can't see any way, there's certainly no way in which the animal's going to suffer. People keep saying we're taunting the animal with this thing. He loves to do it. He comes out, he sees the thing, he grabs it, and he looks over, and he feels like he's empowered by pulling against something that's actually resisting. There's a little clip. If you Google lion bucking wildebeest, right? There's a National Geographic clip which shows the kind of tugging that lions do in the wild. It's quite a graphic clip because lions use their jaws to grab onto things and then pull them while they're resisting. Ben,
I'm going to quickly stop you there because we have run out of time, unfortunately, Ben. But Chris, what was it you wanted to say? Because you wanted to say something.
This is not a wild lion. If you put a wildebeest in with that lion, it wouldn't know what to do. It would run away. This is a captive bred lion that's been humanised.
We did put in a model of a zebra, and it was ripped apart instantly.
Ben, can you hear yourself? Can you hear yourself here? I know you're trying to justify this. You're trying to justify this practice. If you want to do anything for that lion and that tiger, take them out of that zoo and put them in a sanctuary.
Chris, I am going to have to quickly stop you there. We are going to have to leave there. But very lastly, Benjamin, I've got to ask, obviously, you've seen the uproar it's caused. Have you got any plans to stop doing this?
No, I'm not. The vets are all on this side of continuing with this enrichment, which is really valuable for the animal and also really good for public engagement. It wouldn't surprise me if some of the people watching yesterday and today have donated to Lion Aid as a direct result of being stimulated by this activity.
No,
okay,
they've shown their horror, actually, of what you're doing.
Right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.